The last item my grandmother ever gave me before she passed away was a 4-leaf clover necklace. Mind you, my grandmother is Japanese, and she never knew what St. Patrick's Day was until she came to America. One day, her oldest son came home crying because all the kids at school were pinching him. He wasn't wearing green, so they picked on him. After that day, she made sure every single one of her half-Japanese children had something green on an Irish holiday.
The street names.
You used to live right there?
Didn't have that big building.
No, but...
When my grandma was 18, she was in Tokyo at the family home and was working in the factory while Shuma, her younger brother, continued in school. Everyone else was outside the city at the family farm.
That's when you were 16, Mom?
Almost 16.
And this is Tommy?
This is Danny. Just a little bit shorter.
But this is you. How old are you in this picture, Mom?
This one's me in high school.
High school? Were you taking modern dance?
Yeah, I did. Mommy wanted to go to...
My grandma took Shuma by the hand, and as they went out the front door, my grandma grabbed the only thing she could think to take along, which was an umbrella holder. My grandma and Shuma made their way to the palace. All the people were moved into the lower rooms of the castle. Later, when my grandma was allowed out after the firebombing, she said she saw many black objects floating in the river, which she realized were bodies. My grandfather planned his whole trip so my grandmother could arrive in Oregon. She got pregnant with her first son, my dad's eldest brother, in Japan. After he turned 1 year old, my grandmother and her son took off on a boat from Japan to San Francisco. She and John waited on the dock for over 8 hours until Emma and Griff arrived.
What's the name of the school that you went to, Mom?
Neftoli.
School. Where was the high school? Or was it?
Oh, what was the school that you walked to from Shimbashi, Mom? Okay.
While they did that, my grandfather waited for them in Oregon and wrote a letter to his brother, ordering him to tell people that he was in Texas if people asked where he was. Interracial marriage wasn't legal yet. Once my grandma arrived in San Francisco, my grandfather's brother went to pick up my grandmother and drove nonstop on the back roads all the way to Clackamas, Oregon.
They have a festival here.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn.
Autumn Festival? That's when the samurai on the horseback rides up the...
No, not that. That one.
That's a different one.
So this is old, right?
This is
well, that's
children.
what the old people give the money to fix it besides.
She and John traveled with my dad's Uncle Ed in his 1948 Willys Jeep and their belongings in a trailer. The trip up the gorge took over 8 hours. The state police stopped them because the trailer had faulty brake lights.
Was there a building here at that time?
Not the Nichome.
Nichome?
Yeah. Oh, not the building, just the regular houses.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, I never paid attention to what she had to say. But as I grew, I had so many questions about who my grandmother was, what she did, and where she came from. But I knew I had to be careful talking about topics such as World War II because it's a sensitive topic for many. I always regret not asking my questions to this day, but her story must be told and passed down to generations of our family.